I don't break for people who don't pay taxes. Those words hang in the air of Providence Municipal Court. Every person in the room freezes. Did he really just say that? About a homeless veteran. In front of Judge Frank Caprio. The man who said it stands there smirking. His name is Brayden Castellano. He's 23 years old. He looks like money threw up on him. His sneakers are off-white Jordans. They cost $2,000. His hoodie is a limited edition Supreme X Louis Vuitton collab. $5,000. His wrist has a Richard Mille watch. That's $200,000 right there. Around his neck hangs a gold chain so thick it looks heavy. His hair is perfectly styled. Probably spent an hour on it this morning. His face has that look. You know the one. Like the world owes him something. Like rules are for other people. But let's back up. Let's start from the beginning. Because what happens in the next 10 minutes will change this young man's life forever. And if you believe that wealth doesn't put you above the law, you'll want to see every second of what comes next. Make sure you're subscribed because justice is about to be served hot. The bailiff stands at attention. His uniform is crisp. His face is serious. He calls out in a clear voice. Case number 2025 TR 98342. The State of Rhode Island versus Brayden Castellano. Hit and run with property damage and bodily injury. Judge Frank Caprio sits behind his bench. He's been doing this for decades. He's seen it all. Rich people, poor people, honest people, liars. But he treats everyone the same. That's what makes him special. That's why people love him. He adjusts his glasses and looks at the file in front of him. Mr. Castellano, please step forward, the judge says. His voice is calm, professional, the way it always is at the start. Brayden walks to the podium. No, walk isn't the right word. He struts. Like he's walking into a nightclub. Like cameras are on him. Actually, cameras are on him. This is Judge Caprio's court. Everything gets recorded. Brayden knows this. He doesn't care. His phone is still in his hand. He's looking at it. Texting someone. A small smile plays on his lips. Behind him, the gallery is packed. Court days always are. But today, there's someone special sitting in the third row. His name is Thomas Garrett. He's 62 years old. He's wearing clean clothes, but they're old. Worn. His face has lines on it. Deep lines. The kind you get from sleeping outside. From worrying about where your next meal comes from. From the cold. From the heat. From life being hard. His hands shake a little. They rest on his lap. Under his chair is a small backpack. Everything he owns is in that backpack. On his head is a worn baseball cap. It says U.S. Army veteran across the front. Thomas is why everyone is here today. He's the victim. 3 weeks ago, Thomas was crossing Foster Street. It was 7 in the evening. The sun was setting. He was pushing a shopping cart. In the cart were cans he'd collected. Aluminum cans. He trades them for money. 5 cents a can. It takes a lot of cans to make enough money for food. Thomas pushes that cart every day. It's his job now. It's how he survives. He was in the crosswalk. The light said walk. The white walking man was lit up. Thomas was halfway across when he heard it. An engine roaring. Getting louder. Getting closer. He turned his head. Headlights. Coming fast. Too fast. The car hit his shopping cart. Boom. Cans exploded everywhere. The cart flew 15 feet. It slammed into a light pole. Thomas dove to the side. He hit the pavement hard. His shoulder took the impact. His hip. His knee. Pain shot through his body. He lay there on the cold street. Cans rolled everywhere, making little tinkling sounds. Like broken glass. The car didn't stop. It was a white BMW M4. Brand new. It swerved around Thomas. Engine roaring. Tires squealing. And it was gone. Just like that. Gone into the night. A woman ran over to Thomas. Her name was Patricia Chen. She's a nurse at Rhode Island Hospital. She'd been walking her dog. She saw the whole thing. She knelt down next to Thomas. Sir, don't move. I'm calling 911. You're going to be okay. Thomas tried to sit up. My cans, he said. His voice was rough. I spent all day collecting those. Don't worry about the cans, Patricia said. Her phone was already out. Already dialing. Worry about you. The ambulance came. The police came. Thomas had a separated shoulder. A badly bruised hip. Road rash on his hands and arms. Could have been worse. Could have been so much worse. But that shopping cart. That cart held $6.35 worth of cans. A full day's work. Gone. The police started investigating. They found paint transfer on the shopping cart. White paint. BMW white. They pulled traffic camera footage. They got the license plate. They ran it. The car was registered to Marcus Castellano. That's Brayden's father. Marcus owns 3 car dealerships in Rhode Island. He's worth $40 million. Maybe more. The police went to the Castellano mansion. Yes, mansion. 8,000 square feet. 10 bedrooms. Indoor pool. Tennis court. Gate at the entrance. They rang the bell at the gate. A voice answered. They explained why they were there. The gate opened. Brayden met them at the door. The BMW was in the driveway. The front bumper had a dent. Fresh damage. Paint scraped off. The police took photos. They asked Brayden questions. He had an answer for everything. I didn't see anything. I didn't hit anyone. Maybe someone hit my car while it was parked. I want to call my lawyer. His lawyer came. Expensive lawyer. $300 an hour. The lawyer said all the right things. Said his client wouldn't be answering questions. Said they'd see them in court. Said good night. The door closed. But here's the thing. Brayden made a mistake. A big mistake. He livestreamed that night. On his Instagram. 4,000 to 7,000 followers. He was driving around. Showing off his car. Check out this beast, he said to the camera. 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds. Cost more than your mom's house. The video was still up when police saw it. The timestamp. 7:03 p.m. 3 minutes after the hit and run. You could hear his engine. You could see his speedometer. 82 miles per hour. In a 35 zone. And you could hear something else. In the background. A thump. Then Brayden laughing. Oops. Hope that wasn't important. The police got a warrant. They pulled his phone records. They pulled the full live stream before he deleted it. They found text messages. Oh, the text messages. Sent to his father at 7:05 p.m. Dad, I think I hit something. Maybe a shopping cart. Don't worry, car's fine. Well, small dent. Can you handle it? His dad's response at 7:08 p.m. I'll make some calls. Keep quiet. Don't post about this. Too late. Already posted. The prosecutor charged him. Hit and run with property damage. Hit and run with bodily injury. Reckless driving. Leaving the scene of an accident. Destruction of property. 5 charges. Each one serious. And now here we are. In court. Judge Caprio's court. The court that doesn't care how much money you have. The court that goes viral because justice actually happens here. Real justice. Judge Caprio looks at Brayden. Mr. Castellano, are you represented by counsel today? A man in a suit stands up. His suit is expensive. Italian. Yes, Your Honor. Mitchell Bradford from Bradford & Associates. I'm representing Mr. Castellano. Very well, the judge says. Mr. Castellano, you've been charged with 5 counts related to an incident on Foster Street on the evening of January 15th. How do you plead? Brayden finally looks up from his phone. Not guilty, he says. His voice is flat. Bored. Like he's ordering coffee. The judge makes a note. I see you've waived your right to a jury trial. This will be a bench trial. Is that correct? Yeah, whatever, Brayden says. The lawyer touches his arm. Whispers something. Brayden rolls his eyes. I mean, yes, Your Honor. Judge Caprio looks at him for a long moment. 3 seconds. 5 seconds. The courtroom is quiet. You can hear the clock on the wall. Tick, tick, tick. Mr. Castellano, I expect you to show respect in my courtroom. That means addressing the court properly. That means putting your phone away. That means paying attention. Do you understand? Brayden sighs. He slides his phone into his pocket. But his face says it all. This is such a waste of his time. Yes, Your Honor. Good. Let's proceed. Prosecutor, please present your case. A woman stands up. Her name is Amanda Torres. She's an assistant district attorney. She's 34 years old. She's been prosecuting cases for 7 years. She carries a folder to the podium. The folder is thick, full of evidence, full of proof. Your Honor, the state will show that on January 15th at approximately 7 p.m., the defendant was operating a motor vehicle in a reckless manner on Foster Street. That he struck Mr. Thomas Garrett, a pedestrian legally crossing in a marked crosswalk. That he struck Mr. Garrett's property, destroying it. that he caused injury to Mr. Garrett, and that he fled the scene without rendering aid or reporting the accident. We have video evidence. We have witness testimony. We have the defendant's own social media posts. And we have text messages showing consciousness of guilt. She pauses. Lets that sink in. Your Honor, may I call my first witness? Proceed, Judge Caprio says. The state calls Officer Michael Brennan. A police officer walks to the witness stand. He's in uniform. He places his hand on the Bible. The clerk swears him in. He sits down. Amanda Torres approaches. Officer Brennan, were you called to the scene at Foster Street on the night of January 15th? Yes. I arrived at 7:18 p.m. What did you find when you arrived? I found Mr. Thomas Garrett sitting on the curb. Paramedics were treating him. His shopping cart was destroyed. Aluminum cans were scattered across the intersection. Witnesses were present. What did the witnesses tell you? They said a white BMW had struck the shopping cart and fled the scene. One witness, Patricia Chen, provided a partial license plate. 3 letters. QXL. What did you do with that information? I ran it through our system. Only one white BMW in Rhode Island with those letters. Registered to Marcus Castellano at 447 Ocean View Drive. What happened next? My partner and I went to that address. We observed a white BMW M4 in the driveway. It had fresh damage to the front bumper consistent with striking a metal object. We photographed the damage. We spoke with Brayden Castellano, who claimed to be the primary driver of the vehicle. Did he admit to the hit and run? No. He denied knowing about any accident. Said maybe someone hit his car while parked. Did you believe him? Brayden's lawyer stands up. Objection. Calls for speculation. Sustained, Judge Caprio says. Rephrase, counselor. Amanda nods. Officer Brennan, based on your training and experience, did the defendant's statement seem credible given the evidence? No. The damage pattern was consistent with the car moving forward at speed and striking an object, not with being hit while parked. Thank you. No further questions. The defense attorney stands. Officer Brennan, did you actually see my client driving on Foster Street that night? No, sir. Did any witness identify him as the driver? Not by face, no. The car was moving too fast. So you have no direct evidence that my client was driving? Correct. We have the car registered to his family. We have his admission that he's the primary driver. And we have his own social media posts. But you didn't see him. Correct. Officer Brennan's jaw tightens. Correct. No further questions. The officer steps down. Amanda Torres calls her next witness. Patricia Chen, the nurse who helped Thomas. She walks to the stand. Gets sworn in. Sits down. Ms. Chen, please tell the court what you saw on the night of January 15th. Patricia takes a breath. I was walking my dog on Foster Street. I saw a man pushing a shopping cart in the crosswalk. He was halfway across when a white car came speeding down the street. It must have been going 60 or 70 miles per hour. Way too fast. The car hit the shopping cart. Sent it flying. The man barely got out of the way. He hit the ground hard. I ran over to help him. The car just kept going. Didn't even slow down. Could you see the driver? Not clearly. It happened so fast. But I saw it was a young man. Maybe 20s. Light brown hair. She looks at Brayden. Everyone looks at Brayden. Light brown hair. 20s. Fits perfectly. Thank you, Ms. Chen. No further questions. The defense attorney stands. Ms. Chen, you said you couldn't see the driver clearly. Is that correct? It happened very fast. So you can't say with certainty that my client was driving. Can you? Patricia looks frustrated. I know what I saw. That car hit that man's cart and drove away. But you can't identify the driver. Yes or no? Not 100%, no. Thank you. Nothing further. Amanda Torres stands again. Your Honor, I'd like to enter into Evidence States Exhibit A. This is traffic camera footage from Foster Street. A screen lights up in the courtroom. Everyone watches. The video shows Foster Street. The timestamp reads 7:47 p.m. You can see Thomas pushing his cart. He enters the crosswalk. The walking signal is white. Is legal. Is doing everything right. Then headlights appear. Moving fast. Too fast. The white BMW comes into frame. It's going at least 60. In a 35 zone, near an elementary school zone, the car hits the cart. Metal crunches. Cans explode in every direction. Thomas dives to the side. Hits the pavement. The car swerves but doesn't stop. It speeds away. The whole thing takes 4 seconds. 4 seconds that could have killed a man. The courtroom is silent. People stare at the screen. A woman in the gallery puts her hand over her mouth. A man shakes his head slowly. Judge Caprio's face is serious. Very serious. He's seen a lot in his years. But this is bad. This is really bad. Your Honor, I'd also like to enter State's Exhibit B. This is a social media post from the defendant's Instagram account. The screen changes. Now it shows Brayden's Instagram. His username is @CryptoKingBray. The post is a video. Brayden is in his car. His BMW. Is holding his phone. Filming himself. The speedometer is visible in the shot. It reads 82 miles per hour. Yo, what's up, everyone? Brayden says in the video. His voice is excited. Pumped up. Check out this machine. Just got it detailed. She's a beast. 0 to 60 faster than you can say I'm broke. He laughs at his own joke. The car speeds down a street. You can see buildings passing in the background. Going fast. Really fast. Then you hear it. A thump. Like hitting something. Brayden's eyes go wide for a second. Then he laughs. Oops. Hope that wasn't important. Probably just a trash can or something. The video ends. The timestamp shows 7:03 p.m. 3 minutes after the hit and run. The courtroom erupts. People start talking. The bailiff calls for order. Quiet in the court. Judge Caprio holds up his hand. Everyone goes silent. He looks at Brayden. Mr. Castellano, is that you in the video? Brayden shifts his weight. His face is red. Yeah, but I didn't. I'm not asking what you did or didn't do yet. I'm asking if that's you in the video. Yes, Your Honor. And you posted this video on your public Instagram account? Yeah, but I deleted it later. After the police contacted you. Brayden doesn't answer. Mr. Castellano, I asked you a question. Did you delete the video after the police contacted you? Yes, Brayden mumbles. Speak up, please. Yes, Your Honor. Judge Caprio makes several notes. His pen moves quickly across the paper. Amanda Torres steps forward. Your Honor, I'd like to enter State's Exhibit C. These are text messages from the defendant's phone obtained through a search warrant. The screen changes again. Text messages appear. Large enough for everyone to read. January 15th, 7:05 p.m. Brayden to Dad. Yo, I think I hit something. Maybe a shopping cart. Don't worry, car's fine. Small dent though. Can you handle it? January 15th, 7:08 p.m. Dad to Brayden. I'll make some calls. Keep quiet. Don't post about this. January 15th, 7:09 p.m. Brayden to Dad. Already posted but I'll delete it. January 15th, 7:11 p.m. Dad to Brayden. Delete it now. And get home. We need to talk. January 15th, 7:15 p.m. Brayden to Dad. Chill, it's not a big deal. Probably just some homeless guy's junk. Insurance will cover it, right? The courtroom goes quiet again. But it's a different kind of quiet. It's angry quiet. Did he really just call a man's livelihood junk? Did he really dismiss Thomas like that? Thomas sits in the gallery. His head is down. His hands grip his knees. This is hard for him. Having his life examined. Having his poverty put on display. Having this rich kid treat him like garbage. Amanda Torres continues. Your Honor, I'd like to call Thomas Garrett to the stand. Thomas stands slowly. His shoulder still hurts. His hip still hurts. He walks to the front. Puts his hand on the Bible. His hand shakes. The clerk swears him in. He sits down. The chair seems big. He seems small. Mr. Garrett, please state your name for the record. Thomas. Thomas Garrett. His voice is quiet. Rough from years of cigarettes and cold nights. Mr. Garrett, can you tell the court about yourself? Thomas takes a breath. I'm 62 years old. I served in the United States Army for 12 years. I did 2 tours in Iraq. When I came back, I had a hard time. PTSD. Nightmares. I couldn't keep a job. Lost my apartment. Lost my family. Been on the streets for 8 years now. How do you support yourself? I collect cans. Aluminum cans. Take them to the recycling center. They pay 5 cents a can. Takes about 120 cans to make $6. I can usually get that in a day if I start early. On the night of January 15th, what happened? Thomas closes his eyes for a moment, remembering. I was crossing Foster Street. Had a full cart. Good day. Probably $6 worth of cans. I was in the crosswalk. Lights said walk. I was halfway across when I heard an engine. Real loud. Real fast. I turned. Saw headlights coming. I tried to get out of the way, but he hit my cart. Sent it flying. I hit the ground. Hurt my shoulder real bad. My hip. When I looked up, cans were everywhere. Weeks of work. Just gone. Did the driver stop? No, sir. Just kept going. How did this affect you? Thomas's voice cracks a little. That cart was everything. All my cans. That was food money. Medicine money. I take medication for my anxiety. For my heart. That accident, it set me back weeks. My shoulder still ain't right. Can't push a cart like I used to. Can't collect as many cans. And the worst part. He looks at Brayden. Makes eye contact. The worst part is knowing that whoever hit me didn't care. Didn't care enough to stop. Didn't care enough to see if I was okay. Just drove away like I was nothing. Several people in the gallery wiped their eyes. This man served his country. Fought for freedom. And is spending his final years collecting cans just to survive. And some rich kid hits him and drives away. Thank you, Mr. Garrett. No further questions. The defense attorney stands up. He looks uncomfortable. Like he doesn't want to do this but has to. Mr. Garrett, I'm sorry for what happened to you. But I have to ask. You said you didn't see the driver clearly. Correct. It was dark. Car was moving fast. But I saw it was a white BMW. Fancy car. But you can't identify my client as the driver. I know what I saw. But you can't identify my client specifically. Yes or no? Thomas looks down. No, sir. I can't. Thank you. Nothing further. Thomas steps down. He walks back to his seat. Each step looks painful. Amanda Torres stands up. Your Honor, the state rests. Judge Caprio nods. Defense, do you wish to present any witnesses? The defense attorney stands. Your Honor, I'd like to call Brayden Castellano to the stand. Brayden walks to the witness stand. He moves like he owns the place. Gets sworn in. Sits down. Leans back in the chair. Too casual. Way too casual for someone facing serious charges. Mr. Castellano, did you strike Mr. Garrett's shopping cart on the night of January 15th? I mean, I might have hit something. The street was dark. There's a lot of stuff on the streets in that neighborhood. If I hit something, I didn't know it was a person's property. Did you see Mr. Garrett? No. Like I said, it was dark. So you didn't intentionally hit anyone or anything? No, of course not. Why would I? And the text messages to your father. What was that about? I felt a bump. Wanted to let my dad know in case there was damage to the car. That's a $60,000 car. I take care of my stuff. The prosecutor stands up. Your Honor, I'd like to cross-examine. Proceed, the judge says. Amanda Torres walks toward Brayden. Her heels click on the floor. Click, click, click. She stops right in front of the witness stand. Looks him in the eye. Mr. Castellano, you said the street was dark, but the traffic camera shows it was well lit. Streetlights were working. Correct. Brayden shifts. I guess. You guess. Let's be clear. The street was lit. The crosswalk had lights. The walking signal was illuminated. Correct. Yeah. And you were going 82 miles per hour in a 35 mile per hour zone. Correct. I don't remember exactly how fast I was going. Really? Because your own Instagram video shows your speedometer. At 82. Do you remember posting that video? Yeah. At what time did you post it? I don't remember. 7:03 p.m. 3 minutes after you hit Mr. Garrett. And in that video, you say, and I quote, "Oops. Hope that wasn't important." What did you hit? I told you. I don't know. Maybe a trash can. But you knew you hit something. You felt it. You heard it. And instead of stopping to check, you kept driving. Correct. The street was busy. I couldn't just stop in the middle of traffic. The traffic camera shows no other cars on that street for 20 seconds after you passed. You could have stopped. You chose not to. Correct. Brayden doesn't answer. Mr. Castellano, answer the question. You chose not to stop. Correct. I didn't think it was a big deal. You didn't think hitting something was a big deal. It felt small, like a trash can or something. But it wasn't a trash can. It was a man's livelihood. A man's entire day's worth of work. $6.35 in aluminum cans. Does $6 seem like a lot of money to you, Mr. Castellano? Brayden actually laughs. A short, sharp laugh. $6? No. That's like nothing. That's a coffee. The courtroom reacts. People gasp. Someone says wow loud enough to hear. The bailiff glares in their direction. Amanda Torres doesn't miss a beat. $6 is nothing to you. But to Mr. Garrett, that's food for 2 days. Medicine money. Survival money. Do you understand that? Brayden shrugs. I guess. But that's not my fault he's in that situation. More gasps. Louder this time. Judge Caprio leans forward. His eyes narrow. He's watching Brayden very carefully now. So you feel no responsibility for destroying his property? For injuring him? For fleeing the scene? Look, I didn't mean to hit anything. If I did hit his cart, I'm sorry or whatever. But I don't see why this is such a huge deal. My dad can pay for a new cart. Problem solved. Amanda Torres steps closer. Is that how you think justice works? You break something, your dad pays for it, and everything's fine. Pretty much, yeah. Isn't that what insurance is for? And the fact that you fled the scene. The fact that you didn't stop to help a man who was injured. I didn't know he was injured. I didn't even see him. Because you were going 82 miles per hour while filming yourself on your phone. Correct. Brayden's face gets red. I wasn't filming while driving. I was just holding my phone. The video shows otherwise. You're clearly holding the phone, looking at it, talking to it, while driving at high speed in a residential area. Do you think that's responsible? I'm a good driver. I can multitask. Really? Because the evidence suggests you hit a man's shopping cart, injured him, and drove away. Does that sound like good driving to you? Objection, the defense attorney says. Argumentative. Sustained, Judge Caprio says. Move on, counselor. Amanda Torres nods. Mr. Castellano, let me ask you this. After you texted your father, what did he say? He said he'd handle it. Handle it how? I don't know. Make some calls. Did he make calls? Brayden hesitates. Yeah. Who did he call? Objection, hearsay, the defense attorney says. Your Honor, the defendant mentioned the calls. I'm asking what he knows about them. I'll allow it. Answer the question, Mr. Castellano. Brayden looks uncomfortable. He called some people. Friends. People he knows. People in positions of power. I guess. Did he call the mayor's office? Silence. Mr. Castellano, we have phone records. Did your father call the mayor's office? Yeah, maybe. And the police commissioner? I think so. And a city councilman? Yeah. So your father tried to use his influence to make this case go away. Is that correct? He was just trying to help me. Help you avoid consequences for your actions. Correct. Brayden doesn't answer. Nothing further, Amanda Torres says. She walks back to her table. Brayden steps down from the witness stand. He walks back to his table. His lawyer whispers to him. Brayden shakes his head. Looks annoyed. Judge Caprio looks at both attorneys. Does the defense have any other witnesses? No, Your Honor. Any closing arguments? The defense attorney stands. Your Honor, my client made a mistake. He admits he may have struck the cart, but there's no proof of malicious intent. This was an accident. A momentary lapse in judgment. He's young. He's never been in trouble before. The state is asking for serious penalties for what amounts to a traffic accident. We ask for leniency. He sits down. Amanda Torres stands. Your Honor, this wasn't a simple accident. The defendant was driving recklessly, filming himself on social media, going more than twice the speed limit. He struck a pedestrian's property in a crosswalk, caused injury, and fled. Then he tried to use his family's influence to avoid responsibility. He's shown no genuine remorse. He called $6 nothing. He said it's not a big deal. This is a young man who believes his wealth puts him above the law. The state asks that you hold him accountable. She sits down. The courtroom is silent. Everyone waits. This is the moment. Judge Caprio looks at his notes. Looks at the evidence. Looks at Brayden. 30 seconds pass. Feels like 30 minutes. Then Brayden's phone buzzes. In his pocket. Everyone hears it. That distinct buzz. He pulls it out. Looks at it. Smirks. Starts typing. In the middle of the judge's deliberation. Judge Caprio's eyes snap to him. Mr. Castellano, did you just take out your phone? Brayden looks up. Yeah, sorry. Important text. Crypto stuff. Bitcoin's moving. I'll just be a second. Put the phone away. Dude, I just said I'll be a second. The courtroom gasps. Dude, did he just call Judge Caprio dude? The judge's voice gets hard. Steel hard. Mr. Castellano, I am not your dude. I am a judge. This is a courtroom. Put your phone away immediately. Brayden rolls his eyes. Actually rolls his eyes. Fine. Whatever. He slides the phone into his pocket but is still smiling. Like this is funny. Like this is all a joke. Your Honor, Brayden says. Can we just wrap this up? I have places to be. A Zoom call at 3 with some investors. Real important stuff. Not like this. Not like this. Those words hang in the air. Thomas Garrett, sitting in the gallery, looks down at his hands. His eyes are wet. This kid doesn't think his life matters. Doesn't think hurting him was important. Thinks crypto calls are more valuable than justice. Judge Caprio takes off his glasses. Rubs his eyes. Puts his glasses back on. When he speaks, his voice is calm. Too calm. Mr. Castellano, do you know why you're here? Some kind of traffic thing. Hit a cart or whatever. You hit a man's property. You injured him. You fled the scene. Do you understand the seriousness of these charges? Brayden shrugs. I mean, I get it. But like I said, my dad can pay for it. How much does a shopping cart cost? $20? 50? We'll cut a check right now. Can I go? Someone in the gallery stands up. A man. His face is red. Are you kidding me right now? The bailiff moves toward him. Sir, sit down. The man sits but is shaking his head. Others whisper to each other. This is unbelievable. This kid really thinks he can just buy his way out. Judge Caprio holds up his hand for silence. Mr. Castellano, this isn't about the cost of a shopping cart. This is about responsibility. About respect. About understanding that your actions have consequences. Yeah, I get that. That's why I'm here, right? To face consequences. So lay them on me. Fine, community service, whatever. My lawyer said it'll probably be like a small fine and some online traffic school. Let's just do it so I can get out of here. His voice is impatient. Dismissive. He keeps glancing at his watch. That $200,000 watch. Checking the time like he's got better things to do. Judge Caprio leans back in his chair. He's quiet for a long moment. Then he leans forward. Mr. Castellano, let me tell you what I see. I see a young man who has been given everything. A young man who has never had to struggle. Never had to worry about where his next meal will come from. Never had to collect cans just to afford medicine. Yeah, and that's not my fault. I'm not finished. The judge's voice cuts through the courtroom like a knife. Brayden's mouth snaps shut. I see a young man who hit another human being's property and drove away. Who posted about it on social media like it was entertainment. Who texted his father to handle it instead of taking responsibility himself. Who tried to use wealth and influence to make it disappear. And now, standing in my courtroom, you're checking your phone. Calling me dude. Asking to leave because you have a Zoom call. The judge pauses. The courtroom is dead silent. You could hear a pin drop. Mr. Castellano, let me ask you something. Do you know what humility means? Brayden shifts his weight. Yeah. It means like, being humble or whatever. Or whatever, the judge repeats. Do you possess any humility? I mean, sure. I'm humble. You're humble. Yeah. While wearing a $200,000 watch. Brayden looks at his wrist. Smiles. Oh, this is actually my cheap one. My good watch is getting serviced. Gasps. Actual gasps from the gallery. A woman puts her head in her hands. Thomas Garrett closes his eyes. The cheap one. A $200,000 watch is his cheap one. Judge Caprio writes something down. His pen moves quickly. Mr. Castellano, do you think your wealth makes you special? I mean, kind of. I work for my money. I'm smart. I got into crypto early. Made $7 million before I was 23. That's pretty special. You work for it. Yeah. Bought Bitcoin at 6,000. Sold at 60,000. 10x return. That's called being smart. And Mr. Garrett over there, the man you hit, he worked 12 years in the military, served 2 combat tours, came home with PTSD. Now he collects cans for survival. Did he not work? I mean, that's different. How is it different? He's just, like, collecting cans. I'm building wealth. Growing my portfolio. It's not the same thing. Judge Caprio's jaw tightens. You can see it. The muscle working. He's trying to stay calm. Trying to stay professional. But this kid is making it really hard. So in your mind, your work is valuable. His work is not. Is that what you're saying? I'm just saying, there's a difference between making millions in crypto and picking up trash. That's it. That's the line. The courtroom explodes. People start yelling. The bailiff calls for order. Everyone quiet down. Right now. Thomas Garrett stands up. His face is red. Tears stream down his cheeks. I served my country, he says. His voice cracks. I gave 12 years. I have shrapnel still in my leg. I have nightmares every night. And you're calling me trash. Brayden turns to look at him. Whoa, dude, I didn't say you were trash. I said you pick up trash. There's a difference. Mr. Castellano. Judge Caprio's voice booms through the courtroom. That is enough. But Brayden keeps going. He's on a roll now. Can't stop himself. Look, I'm sorry he's had a hard life or whatever. But that doesn't mean I should get in trouble for something that was basically an accident. I didn't see his cart. I was driving. These things happen. And honestly, if he's living on the streets collecting cans, maybe he should figure out a better life plan. That's not my responsibility. 10 seconds of silence. Complete silence. Nobody moves. Nobody breathes. Then Thomas sits back down. His whole body is shaking. Patricia Chen, the nurse from the gallery, puts her hand on his shoulder. Judge Caprio stands up. He's 77 years old. He's been a judge for 35 years. He's seen thousands of cases. Thousands of defendants. Rich ones. Poor ones. Mean ones. Nice ones. But this is something else. This is a level of arrogance he rarely sees. Bailiff, the judge says quietly, please approach the bench. The bailiff walks over. Judge Caprio whispers something to him. The bailiff nods. Steps back. His hand moves to his belt. To his handcuffs. Brayden doesn't notice. He's looking at his lawyer. How much longer is this going to take? His voice is loud enough for everyone to hear. I told you, I have that call at 3. It's a $100,000 deal. Every minute I waste here costs me money. His lawyer looks like he wants to crawl under the table. Brayden, please. Stop talking. Why? I'm just being honest. Judge Caprio sits back down. Slowly, deliberately, he picks up his gavel. Holds it. Doesn't bang it yet. Just holds it. Mr. Castellano, he says. His voice is quiet. Dangerous quiet. I want you to listen very carefully to what I'm about to say. Brayden finally looks at him. Okay. In my 35 years on the bench, I have seen many people stand where you're standing. People who made mistakes. People who showed remorse. People who wanted to do better. And I've helped them. Given them second chances. Worked with them. Because I believe in redemption. I believe people can change. He pauses. But I have also seen people like you. People who think their money makes them untouchable. People who think the rules don't apply to them. People who lack basic human decency and respect. And do you know what I do with people like that? Brayden doesn't answer. I hold them accountable. Fully. Completely. Without mercy. Brayden's face changes. For the first time, he looks a little nervous. Just a little. What does that mean? Let me start with your charges. You've been found guilty of hit and run with property damage. Hit and run with bodily injury. Reckless driving. Leaving the scene of an accident. And destruction of property. 5 charges. 5 separate violations of the law. Yeah, I know. So what's the fine? Judge Caprio ignores the question. Let me walk you through the evidence. Traffic camera footage shows you driving at 82 miles per hour in a 35 mile per hour zone. That's reckless driving. You struck Mr. Garrett's shopping cart while he was legally in a crosswalk. That's hit and run with property damage. Mr. Garrett was injured in the incident. That's hit and run with bodily injury. You fled the scene without stopping. That's leaving the scene. And you destroyed property worth $6.35 plus a $40 shopping cart. That's destruction of property. Brayden rolls his eyes. Okay, I get it. I messed up. How much is this going to cost? Cost. Judge Caprio repeats the word. You think this is about cost? About writing a check? About making it go away with money? I mean, yeah. That's how it works, right? I pay the fine, do some online classes, and we're done. No, Mr. Castellano. That's not how it works. Not here. Not in my courtroom. Let me explain something to you. Money does not buy you out of responsibility. It does not buy you out of consequences. It does not buy you the right to disrespect a veteran, this court, or basic human decency. Brayden's lawyer stands up. Your Honor, if I may. Sit down, counselor. I'll get to you in a moment. The lawyer sits. He looks pale. Judge Caprio continues. Mr. Castellano, you stood in my courtroom and called a decorated veteran's life's work trash. You said his struggle is his own problem. You said $6 is nothing. You checked your phone during proceedings. You called me dude. You said you have better things to do than be here. You showed zero remorse. Zero empathy. Zero humanity. He pauses. Lets it sink in. And that, Mr. Castellano, was your biggest mistake. Brayden's face is pale now. Really pale. What are you saying? I'm saying the court finds you guilty on all 5 charges. And I'm about to tell you your sentence. Are you ready to hear it? Yeah. Sure. Whatever. Let's start with the financial aspect. Since you care so much about money, we'll begin there. You'll find $17,500. That breaks down to $3,500 per charge, payable within 30 days. If not paid, you'll face additional penalties including license suspension and potential jail time. Brayden actually laughs. 17 grand. That's it. Done. I'll Venmo it right now. I'm not finished. Your license is suspended for 180 days. 6 months. You will not drive any vehicle during this time. If you're caught driving, you'll be arrested immediately and face additional charges. What? I can't drive for 6 months. How am I supposed to get around? The same way Mr. Garrett gets around. You walk. You take the bus. You ask for rides. You figure it out. But I have places to be. Meetings. A life. You should have thought about that before you hit a man and drove away. But we're still not done. Let's talk about community service. Brayden groans. How much? 20 hours. 300 hours. 300. That's insane. You will complete these hours at the Providence Veterans Center. You will work directly under the supervision of Mr. Thomas Garrett. You will help veterans, serve meals, clean facilities, sort donations. Whatever Mr. Garrett assigns you to do, you will do it. Every Saturday and Sunday for the next 30 weeks. 8 hours each day. 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. No exceptions. No excuses. If you miss a day, the clock resets. All 300 hours start over. Brayden's mouth falls open. You're putting me under his supervision. That's not fair. Fair? You want to talk about fair? Is it fair that Mr. Garrett lost his livelihood because you were too busy filming yourself to watch the road? Is it fair that his shoulder still hurts? That he can't collect cans like he used to? That he's struggled for weeks because of your actions? Tell me, Mr. Castellano, what's fair? Brayden doesn't answer. Can't answer. Furthermore, you will write a 3,000-word essay. The topic is the value of human life and why wealth does not determine worth. This essay will be handwritten, not typed, not AI-generated. Handwritten by you. It will be submitted to the court within 60 days. If it's not acceptable, you'll rewrite it. And rewrite it again if necessary. Until you demonstrate that you actually learned something. This is crazy, Brayden says. His voice is rising. You can't do this. This is abuse of power. My dad is going to sue you. Is going to sue this whole court. You have no idea who you're messing with. Judge Caprio doesn't blink. Your father already tried to intervene. He called the mayor, the police commissioner, a city councilman. I have records of all those calls. And do you know what happened? Nothing. Because this is a court of law. Not a place where political favors are traded. Not a place where wealth buys outcomes. This is where justice happens. This isn't justice. This is you being on a power trip. Bailiff, Judge Caprio says calmly. please remind Mr. Castellano that he's still in my courtroom and needs to show respect. The bailiff steps forward. Sir, you need to calm down. But Brayden is past calm. He's red-faced, angry, entitled anger. The kind that comes from never being told no before. This is bull. I don't have to listen to this. You're just some old judge in some nowhere court. I make more money in a week than you make in a year. My crypto portfolio is worth $7 million. $7 million. Do you understand that? I don't break for people who don't pay taxes. And I definitely don't take orders from. That's enough. Judge Caprio slams his gavel. Bang. The sound echoes through the courtroom like a gunshot. Mr. Castellano, you have just added contempt of court to your charges. Bailiff, take the defendant into custody. The bailiff moves quickly. He's behind Brayden in 2 seconds. Hands behind your back, sir. What? No. You can't arrest me. You're being held in contempt. You have the right to remain silent. I suggest you use it. Click. The handcuffs go on. Brayden's eyes go wide. Wait. Wait. I'm sorry. Your Honor, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. But it's too late. The bailiff is already leading him away. Brayden tries to pull away. Let me go. Do you know who my father is? Do you know how much he donates to this city? One phone call and you'll all be fired. Judge Caprio's voice cuts through his ranting. Mr. Castellano, you are remanded to the county jail for 15 days for contempt of court. You will serve this time immediately. After your release, you will begin your community service. Your probation period is 18 months. During this time, you will report to a probation officer monthly. You will submit to random drug tests. You will attend 6 weeks of anger management classes. And you will make a public apology. A public what? You will appear at Providence Town Hall. You will stand in front of the community. And you will apologize publicly to Mr. Garrett. This apology will be recorded. It will be unscripted. It will come from you, not your lawyer. If the court deems it insufficient, you will do it again. Brayden is being dragged toward the door now. He's fighting it. This is insane. You're insane. My lawyer will appeal this. My dad will. Your father will do nothing. Because the law is the law. Bailiff, remove him from my courtroom. The door opens. Brayden is pulled through. His voice echoes down the hallway. I don't break for people who don't pay taxes. I don't break, fool. The door closes. His voice cuts off. Silence. Complete silence. For 5 full seconds, nobody moves. Then slowly, people start to react. Someone claps. Then another person. Then another. Soon the whole gallery is clapping. Standing up. Applauding. Not for the judge. He doesn't need applause, but for justice. Real justice. Judge Caprio bangs his gavel once. Order. Please. The clapping stops. People sit down. The judge looks at Thomas. Mr. Garrett, would you please approach? Thomas stands. Walks slowly to the front. He looks confused. Nervous. Like he might be in trouble too. Mr. Garrett, I want to apologize to you. Thomas's eyes widen. Apologize. For what? For what you had to hear in this courtroom today. No one should have to listen to their life being called worthless. Their work being called trash. You serve this country with honor. You survive hardships that most of us can't imagine. And you deserve respect. From everyone. Including that young man who just left in handcuffs. Thomas's eyes fill with tears. Thank you, Your Honor. The court is awarding you restitution in the amount of $2,000. That includes replacement of your shopping cart, your lost wages, medical expenses, and pain and suffering. Mr. Castellano will pay this within 30 days. $2,000. That's more than I see in 6 months. It's what you owed. Additionally, when Mr. Castellano completes his community service at the Veterans Center, he'll be working under your supervision. If he gives you any trouble, any disrespect, any attitude, you report it directly to me, and his sentence will be extended. Do you understand? Thomas nods. Yes, sir. You're a good man, Mr. Garrett. This city is lucky to have veterans like you. Don't ever let anyone tell you different. Thomas can't speak. He just nods. Wipes his eyes. Walks back to his seat. Patricia Chen squeezes his hand. Judge Caprio looks at the prosecutor. Ms. Torres, please ensure all paperwork is filed correctly. I want this case documented thoroughly. If Mr. Castellano attempts to appeal or if his father tries to intervene again, I want a complete record. Yes, Your Honor. And please coordinate with the Veteran Center. Make sure they are prepared for Mr. Castellano's arrival. Make sure they understand his requirements. Absolutely, Your Honor. Judge Caprio closes the file. Bangs his gavel once more. This case is concluded. Next case, please. But before the next defendant is called, the courtroom doors open. A man in an expensive suit walks in. Is in his 50s. Silver hair. Rolex watch. Designer briefcase. He walks straight to the front. Doesn't wait to be called. Your Honor, I'm Marcus Castellano, Brayden's father. I need to speak with you about this sentence. It's excessive. My son is a good boy. He made a mistake. Surely we can work something out. The courtroom goes silent again. Is he really doing this? Right now. Right after his son was taken away in handcuffs. Judge Caprio looks at him. Mr. Castellano, this is not the time or place. If you wish to discuss your son's case, you need to file the appropriate motions through your attorney. But Your Honor, Mr. Castellano, I'm warning you. Do not disrupt these proceedings. My son is not a criminal. He's a successful businessman. This sentence will ruin his reputation. His opportunities. I'm willing to make a substantial donation to the Veteran Center. $10,000. $20,000. Whatever it takes. The gallery gasps. Did he just try to bribe the judge? In open court, Judge Caprio stands up. Mr. Castellano, you need to leave. Now. I'm just trying to help my son. You're trying to buy his way out of consequences. And in doing so, you're showing me exactly why your son behaves the way he does. He learned it from you. Now leave my courtroom before I hold you in contempt as well. Marcus Castellano's face turns red. You'll regret this. I have friends. Important friends. This isn't over. Bailiff, escort Mr. Castellano out of the building. The bailiff moves toward Marcus. Marcus holds up his hands. Fine. I'm going. But this isn't over, Judge. Not by a long shot. He turns and walks out. Slams the door behind him. Judge Caprio sits back down. Takes a deep breath. Some people never learn, he says quietly. Then louder, next case. The rest of the day proceeds normally. Traffic violations. Parking tickets. Small claims. But everyone is still thinking about what just happened. About Brayden Castellano being taken away in handcuffs. About his father trying to bribe the judge. About justice actually being served. News crews are outside when court ends. Cameras everywhere. Reporters shouting questions. The video of Brayden being arrested goes viral within hours. 10 million views by evening. 20 million by midnight. The clip of him saying, "I don't break for people who don't pay taxes," becomes a meme. People share it. Comment on it. Debate it. Some people defend Brayden. Say the judge was too harsh. Say 300 hours is excessive. Say rich people are being targeted. But most people say it's about time. About time someone held entitled rich kids accountable. About time wealth didn't buy immunity. About time justice was actually blind. The next morning, Judge Caprio arrives at court. There's a crowd outside. People clapping. Cheering. Signs saying "Thank you Judge Caprio" and "Justice for Veterans." He waves but doesn't stop. He's got work to do. Inside the county jail, Brayden Castellano sits in a cell. It's small. 8 feet by 10 feet. A metal bed. A thin mattress. A toilet. A sink. That's it. No phone. No laptop. No crypto trading. Just him and 4 concrete walls. His cellmate is a man named Rico. Rico is in for unpaid child support. He's been here 3 weeks. Waiting for his court date. Rico looks at Brayden. Looks at his designer clothes. His expensive sneakers. "What are you in for?" "Contempt of court," Brayden mumbles. "What did you do?" "Got into it with the judge." "Must have been bad." "How long you in for?" 15 days. Rico whistles. "That's a lot for contempt." "What did you say to him?" Brayden doesn't want to talk about it. But there's nothing else to do. So he tells the story. About the hit and run. About the sentencing. About his outburst. About saying he doesn't break for people who don't pay taxes. Rico stares at him. "You said what?" "I was angry. I didn't mean it." "Man, you hit a homeless veteran and said you don't break for people who don't pay taxes." What is wrong with you? I told you, I was angry. Nah, man. Angry is cussing somebody out. What you did, that's something else. That's like, no soul stuff. Brayden turns away. Faces the wall. This is going to be a long 15 days. Back in court, cases continue. But Judge Caprio keeps thinking about Brayden. About Thomas Garrett. About wealth and privilege and responsibility. That night, alone in his chambers, he writes in his personal journal. He's kept one for 20 years. Writing helps him process difficult cases. Today I sentenced a young man who has everything but understands nothing, he writes. $7 million in the bank. Not a penny of wisdom in his head. He hurt a veteran and felt no remorse. Called $6 nothing. Called a man's life trash. His father tried to buy his way out. Like everything in life is for sale. But some things can't be bought. Respect. Dignity. Justice. Character. I hope 15 days in jail and 300 hours of service teach him what his millions couldn't. I hope he learns that wealth measures bank accounts, not human value. But I'm not optimistic. Some people are too far gone. Too entitled. Too lost. Still, I have to try. That's my job. That's justice. 2 weeks pass. Brayden serves his time. 15 days of jail food. 15 days of concrete and bars. 15 days of no phone, no freedom, no control. On the morning of his release, his father picks him up. Marcus Castellano doesn't hug him. Doesn't say, I'm glad you're okay. He says, get in the car. We need to talk about your sentencing appeal. I don't want to appeal, Brayden says quietly. Marcus stops walking. What? I said I don't want to appeal. I just want to do the community service and be done with it. Are you insane? 300 hours. Working under that homeless man. That's humiliating. Maybe that's the point. Marcus stares at his son. Who are you right now? This isn't you. Maybe it should be. They don't talk the rest of the ride home. The following Saturday, 6 a.m., Brayden shows up at the Providence Veteran Center. He's wearing jeans and a plain t-shirt. No designer clothes. No gold chains. No watch. He left all that at home. A woman at the front desk checks him in. You must be Brayden. Mr. Garrett is waiting for you. She leads him to a back room. Thomas Garrett is there, standing by a table. On the table are cleaning supplies. Mops, buckets, spray bottles, rags. Good morning, Thomas says. His voice is neutral. Not friendly. Not mean. Just neutral. Good morning, Brayden says. Sir, he adds quickly. We're going to start with the bathrooms. 3 bathrooms in this building. They need to be scrubbed top to bottom. Toilets, sinks, floors, everything. When you're done, come find me. I'll check your work. If it's not good enough, you'll do it again. Yes, sir. Thomas hands him the supplies. You've got until noon. That's 6 hours for 3 bathrooms. Should be plenty of time if you work hard. Brayden takes the supplies. Walks to the first bathroom. Opens the door. The smell hits him immediately. It's a public bathroom. Used by dozens of veterans every day. It's not terrible, but it's not clean. He puts on rubber gloves. Gets to work. 4 hours later, he's done with the first bathroom. His back hurts. His knees hurt. His hands are wrinkled from water. He finds Thomas. First bathroom is done. Thomas walks with him to check. He inspects everything. The toilet. Behind the toilet. The sink. Under the sink. The mirror. The floor. The corners. He's thorough. After 5 minutes, he nods. Good. 2 more to go. Brayden does the second bathroom. Then the third. By 2 p.m., he's exhausted. Sweating. Sore. Thomas checks all 3 bathrooms. Finds spots Brayden missed. These need to be redone. I'll see you tomorrow at 6 a.m. I didn't finish. You finished 3 bathrooms. But not to standard. Tomorrow you'll redo the spots you missed. Then we'll move on to other tasks. Brayden wants to argue. Wants to say it's not fair. But he doesn't. He just nods. Yes, sir. See you tomorrow. This goes on for weeks. Every Saturday. Every Sunday. 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. Brayden cleans. Organizes. Serves meals. Sorts donations. Talks to veterans. Hears their stories. He meets Gerald, who lost both legs in Afghanistan. He meets Maria, who served as a medic in Iraq and now has PTSD. He meets Robert, who came home to no job and no family and ended up on the streets for 10 years. And he works alongside Thomas, week after week. At first, they don't talk much. Brayden works. Thomas supervises. But gradually, they start talking. Thomas tells Brayden about his time in the army, about Iraq, about the things he saw, the things he did, the friends he lost. I came home different, Thomas says one day. They are sorting donated clothes. I couldn't sleep, couldn't focus. Every loud noise made me jump. I lost my job, lost my wife, lost my kids. They couldn't handle what I'd become. I don't blame them. I was a mess. How did you end up on the streets? Brayden asks. Bit by bit. Lost my apartment when I couldn't pay rent. Lived in my car for a while. Then the car broke down. Couldn't afford to fix it. That was it. I was homeless. Been that way 8 years now. Don't you get VA benefits? I do. Some. But it's not much. And navigating the system is hard when you don't have a permanent address. When your phone gets stolen. When you can't afford a computer. It's hard to explain unless you've lived it. Brayden is quiet for a moment. I'm sorry, he says, for what I said in court. About your life. Your work. It was wrong. Thomas looks at him. You know what hurt the most? It wasn't the hit and run. Accidents happen. It was you saying $6 was nothing. That collecting cans wasn't real work. That my life didn't matter. That hurt worse than my shoulder. I know. I was an idiot. Yeah, you were. They keep sorting clothes. After a while, Thomas says, but you're here. Doing the work. Showing up every week. Not complaining. That says something. Judge Caprio didn't give me much choice. He gave you every choice. You could have appealed. Your dad wanted to. You said no. That was a choice. Brayden thinks about that. I guess you're right. Weeks turn into months. Brayden keeps showing up. 6 a.m. every Saturday and Sunday. He gets to know the other veterans. Learns their names. Their stories. One Sunday, a veteran named Marcus, not his dad, different Marcus, has a birthday. He's turning 65. The center throws a small party. Cake. Candles. Singing. Brayden helps set up. Helps serve the cake. Watches as Marcus tears up when everyone sings happy birthday. This is the first birthday anyone's celebrated for me in 20 years, Marcus says. Thank you. All of you. Brayden feels something in his chest. A weird feeling. It takes him a minute to recognize it. It's empathy. Real empathy. Not fake charity. Not pity. Actual caring about another person. After 3 months, Brayden is halfway through his community service. 150 hours down. 150 to go. Thomas pulls him aside one Saturday. You've been doing good work, he says. Changed your attitude. I can see it. Thank you, Brayden says. This place, these people, they've changed me. I see things differently now. What do you see? That money doesn't mean anything. Not really. These guys, they don't have money. Most of them don't have homes. But they have dignity. They have stories. They have value. I never understood that before. Thomas nods. What are you going to do when your service is done? I don't know. I've been thinking about that. I want to do something. Something real. Not just crypto trading. Like what? Maybe work with veterans. Fundraising. Advocacy. I don't know exactly. But something that helps. That would be good, Thomas says. You've got resources. Use them for good instead of just making more money. At the 6-month mark, Brayden completes his 300 hours. It's a Sunday. 2 p.m. His last day. The veterans throw him a small party. Nothing fancy. Just pizza and soda. But they all shake his hand. Tell him he did good. Tell him to come back and visit. Thomas walks him out. You did it, he says. 300 hours. Never missed a day. Never complained. I'm proud of you. Thank you, sir. For everything. For teaching me. For giving me a chance. You gave yourself the chance. You chose to learn. That's the hard part. They shake hands. Brayden walks to his car. His license was reinstated last week. 6 months without driving. 6 months of taking the bus. Walking. It was hard. But he made it. He gets in his car. Sits there for a minute. Thinks about the last 6 months. How much has changed. How different he feels. 2 weeks later, it's time for his public apology. Providence Town Hall. 7 p.m. The room is packed. Media, veterans, city officials, community members. Brayden walks to the podium. No lawyer, no script. Just him and a microphone. "My name is Brayden Castellano," he starts. His voice shakes a little. "6 months ago, I stood in Judge Caprio's court and said some terrible things. I hurt a veteran, destroyed his property, drove away. Then I made it worse by saying his life didn't matter. That $6 was nothing. That I don't break for people who don't pay taxes." He pauses, takes a breath. "I was wrong. Completely wrong. I was arrogant, entitled, cruel. I thought money made me special, made me better. I thought poor people were poor because they didn't work hard. I thought wealth equaled worth. I was wrong about all of it." He looks at Thomas, sitting in the front row. "Mr. Garrett, I owe you an apology. A real one. Not because a judge ordered it, but because I mean it. You served our country. You sacrificed. You struggle every day just to survive. And I treated you like garbage. I'm sorry. Truly sorry. You deserve better. You deserve respect. And if I could take back what I said, what I did, I would." His voice cracks. "I've spent the last 6 months working at the Veteran Center, meeting veterans, hearing their stories, learning what sacrifice really means, learning what hard work really looks like, learning that a man's worth has nothing to do with his bank account, and everything to do with his character." He wipes his eyes. "I still have a lot to learn, a lot to make up for, but I promise I'm going to spend the rest of my life trying to do better, to be better, to use my resources to help instead of just enriching myself. To the veterans in this room, to Mr. Garrett, and to everyone I hurt with my words and actions, I am deeply, truly sorry." The room is silent. Then Thomas stands up, walks to the podium, extends his hand. Brayden shakes it. They stand there for a moment, shaking hands. Flashbulbs pop. Cameras click. This moment will be on the news tonight. Will go viral tomorrow. But right now, it's just two men. Connecting. Forgiving. Moving forward. 6 months after that, Brayden starts a nonprofit. It's called the $6 Foundation. The name comes from the $6 in cans he destroyed. The foundation raises money for homeless veterans, provides housing assistance, job training, mental health services. In the first year, they raise $400,000, help 60 veterans get off the streets. Brayden uses his crypto connections, his social media platform, his father's network, but now he's using it for good. Thomas Garrett is the foundation's first employee. He's the director of veteran outreach. He has an apartment now, paid for by the foundation, has health insurance, a steady paycheck. He still collects cans sometimes. Old habits. But now he does it to teach young people, to show them that honest work has dignity, that every person matters. 1 year after the court case, Brayden visits Judge Caprio. He brings Thomas with him. They sit in the judge's chambers, talk for an hour, about change, about growth, about second chances. "Judge, I wanted to thank you," Brayden says, "for not giving up on me, for holding me accountable. That day in court was the worst day of my life, but it was also the best, because it woke me up, made me see who I was, who I didn't want to be." Judge Caprio smiles. "You did the work, son. All I did was point you in the right direction. You chose to walk that path. That takes courage. I'm trying to be better. You are better. Keep going." They talk for a while longer. When they leave, Judge Caprio sits alone in his chambers, opens his journal, writes a new entry. "Brayden Castellano came to see me today. He's changed. Really changed. Not fake. Not performance. Real growth. He started a foundation. Helped 60 veterans. Hired Thomas Garrett. Made amends. This is why I do this job. Not for the cases that are easy, but for the ones that are hard. The ones where change seems impossible. Because sometimes, just sometimes, people surprise you. They learn. They grow. They become who they were always meant to be. Justice isn't just about punishment. It's about transformation. And today, I saw transformation. Real transformation. There's hope yet." The story spreads. Gets featured on national news. CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. Everyone wants to interview Brayden, the rich kid who learned humility. Who went from saying, "I don't break for people who don't pay taxes," to dedicating his life to helping those same people. It becomes a case study in law schools. A teaching moment. An example of restorative justice done right. But the best moment comes 2 years later. Brayden is at the Veterans Center. It's a Saturday. 6 a.m. He still volunteers every weekend. Hasn't missed one in 2 years. A new veteran comes in. His name is David. He's young. Maybe 25. Just got discharged. Nowhere to go. Nothing to his name. He looks scared. Lost. Brayden walks up to him. "Hey, I'm Brayden. Welcome." "Thanks," David says quietly. "You served?" "Yeah. Marines. 3 tours. Thank you for your service." "Really? Can I get you some breakfast? Coffee?" David's eyes well up. "That would be great. I haven't eaten since yesterday." Brayden leads him to the dining hall. Gets him food. Sits with him. Listens to his story. Then helps him fill out paperwork for housing assistance. For job training. For all the services the foundation offers. David keeps saying thank you. Keeps saying he can't believe this is real. "It's real," Brayden says. "We're here to help. Whatever you need." Thomas watches from across the room. Smiles. Walks over. "You're getting good at this," he tells Brayden. "I learn from the best," Brayden says. And that's the end of the story. Not with a dramatic courtroom scene. Not with a viral moment. But with a quiet morning at a veterans center. With a young man who almost lost his way. Who learned the hard way that money can't buy character. That wealth doesn't determine worth. That every person, no matter their bank account, deserves dignity. Deserves respect. Deserves justice. In Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom, justice isn't about the size of your wallet. It's about the content of your character. It's about accountability. About growth. About becoming better than you were yesterday. And on that day, 6 months ago, when Brayden Castellano walked into that court wearing designer clothes and arrogance, he learned that lesson. The hard way. But he learned it. Money can buy a lot of things. A BMW. A Rolex. Designer clothes. A mansion. It can buy comfort. Convenience. Luxury. But it cannot buy humility. It cannot buy empathy. It cannot buy character. And in Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom, it definitely cannot buy justice. Justice is earned. One choice at a time. One action at a time. One apology at a time. One Saturday morning at a veterans center at a time. That's the real lesson. That's what matters. Not the money. Not the fame. Not the social media followers. But the person you choose to be when nobody's watching. When there's no camera. No audience. Just you and your choices. Brayden Castellano made bad choices. Then he made better ones. That's the power of accountability. That's the power of a judge who won't be bought. That's the power of a veteran who showed grace. That's the power of a system that demands we do better. Be better. That's justice.